Every year, more than 10 million tons of lead are produced around the world. It's one of the most dangerous and toxic metals in existence, capable of causing serious damage to nearly every organ in the body if handled improperly. And yet, it remains one of the most essential materials in all of modern industry, found in the batteries of millions of cars, in heavy-duty military armor, and even in a large share of the world's ammunition. But have you ever wondered how lead is actually made? Where does this metal, both so dangerous and so essential, actually come from? Today, we're heading to China, home to some of the largest lead production plants on the planet, where tons of raw rock are processed and melted at extreme temperatures every single day to bring one of the modern world's most widely used metals to life. So, get ready. You're about to discover exactly how lead is mass-produced, right here on Stories Behind Everything. Lead is rarely found in its pure form in nature. It's extracted primarily from a mineral called galena, lead sulfide, one of the densest and most recognizable ores on Earth. Before mining begins, companies identify potential galena deposits through detailed geological surveys and exploratory drilling. The most common lead deposits occur in sedimentary rock layers like limestone, often found alongside zinc and silver ore bodies. Depending on the depth and concentration of the ore, extraction is carried out through either open pit or underground mining. Explosives are widely used in controlled detonations to fragment the rock and make extraction possible. After each blast, the broken material is transported to crushing and grinding facilities. In underground mines, excavators move the ore onto trucks or conveyor belts. In open-pit operations, massive haul trucks, capable of carrying up to 440 tons per trip, move enormous volumes of ore to processing plants. The ore is then sent through crushing and grinding stages, where it's progressively broken down into smaller fragments. Crushing is the first stage. Large rock chunks are broken into smaller pieces using crushers that apply compression and impact force. From there, the material moves to grinding mills, large rotating cylinders loaded with steel balls that pulverize the ore through impact and friction, mixed with water to form a slurry. The ground material then passes through a classification stage, typically vibrating screens or conical separators, ensuring particles are the correct size before moving to the next step. Separating galena from the surrounding waste rock is achieved through a process called flotation. The ground ore is mixed with water and specific chemical reagents that cause galena particles to bind to air bubbles and rise to the surface, while the unwanted material sinks to the bottom. The resulting froth is collected and passed through vacuum equipment that removes excess water, leaving behind a drier, more concentrated material known as galena concentrate. This concentrate is sent to a smelter, where the lead sulfide is heated in furnaces through two distinct stages. The first is roasting, where galena is oxidized into lead oxide and sulfur dioxide gas. The second is reduction, where that lead oxide is combined with carbon, producing molten metallic lead and a separate layer of slag. To remove remaining impurities like zinc, copper, or silver, the lead undergoes electrolytic refining or thermal treatment before being poured into molds to form solid ingots. Like many metals, lead is highly recyclable and can be reused indefinitely without losing its properties. One of its most common recycled forms is the lead sheet, produced through a traditional method known as sand casting. The lead is melted in furnaces at temperatures above 620 degrees Fahrenheit, its melting point, and kept at high purity to ensure sheet quality. The casting surface is covered with a specialized layer of fine silica sand, engineered to withstand intense heat without cracking or leaving residue. This bed must be perfectly smooth and level, preventing the molten lead from sticking to the mold while ensuring even cooling and a smooth finish. The molten lead is poured directly onto the sand bed and immediately leveled using a wooden tool that keeps the thickness consistent and the surface flat. As the metal cools gradually, it solidifies into a sheet. The edges are trimmed away, and the sheets pass through rolling machines that bring them to a uniform thickness before being cut to specific lengths and rolled up for shipment. Once on site, lead sheeting is primarily used to waterproof roofing systems. It's an incredibly flexible material that can be shaped into complex forms while remaining highly resistant to corrosion, capable of lasting for centuries. While lead's durability makes it ideal for roofing, it is also a toxic material, and prolonged exposure can pose health risks. That risk is minimized in roofing applications since the lead is installed externally, and its corrosion resistance prevents the release of hazardous particles. The greatest care is required during installation, maintenance, and recycling. Moments when handling lead without proper protection can pose real risks to both workers and the environment. Lead also plays a critical role in healthcare. It's widely used to line radiology and CT scan rooms in hospitals, protecting staff and patients from radiation exposure. Lead is exceptionally effective at absorbing X-rays and other forms of ionizing radiation, preventing them from escaping into adjacent areas. This protective lining can include lead sheeting in walls, doors, ceilings, and even lead-lined glass windows, ensuring safety for everyone inside the facility. And that's how millions of tons of lead are mined, extracted, processed, and recycled around the world every year. A metal as dangerous as it is indispensable to modern life. If you enjoyed this episode, drop a like, share it with your friends, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.